maybe, yeah, okay. No, I'm not able to share my screen yet.
Go for it.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Welcome everyone to Panvala's November Town Hall. We are currently at 88 communities. We just added 3 new ones. This picture is a little old. We need to get a new one with more of our communities on it, but we are 88 communities. And if you have any interest in being a part of Panvala's network, you can always reach out. We're always looking for new communities to add to our network and to support in the ways that we can. And even if it's just a call to talk to us about what that might look like or how we could collaborate in some way, we're always happy to do that. I actually want to pass the floor over to Crypto Sapiens if they're, actually if they're on. Sorry, wrong thing here. Let me go to Crypto Sapiens here first. Is Humpty here or is, oh gosh, I'm not thinking of the name, but is someone here from Crypto Sapiens to talk about?
I'm here for Crypto Sapiens.
Great. I'm going to pass it over to you so you can talk about your community a little bit more.
Cool. Do you want me to, or can I share my screen? I was told to present 10 minutes. I've put together some slides for you.
Perfect. Go for it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for having me at your town hall to talk about Crypto Sapiens. I'm Emprende. I started in Web3 spring of this year, doing after parties for CryptoCons. That was with DAO Planet. And I picked up podcasting with Bankless DAO. And I think podcasting is where the most important questions progressing our endeavors can be asked and answered. You aren't here to learn about me, though. Let me tell you about Crypto Sapiens. Crypto Sapiens has its, oh, are you seeing my screen? Make sure before I roll in.
We see it.
Perfect, awesome. All right. Crypto Sapiens had its origins early on in the depths of Bankless DAO Discord. Now we're a fully spun up podcast network on a mission to bring the crypto curious to being crypto natives. We host discussions with innovative Web3 builders and DeFi, DAOs, and the ever-increasing ecosystem of niches in our degeneration. And we do so by releasing top quality conversations twice weekly, our main pod every Friday, and a rotating release of Focus Community series every Monday. You heard asking for Humpty, this is him. Here's Humpty. He's an innovator in Web3. He began in crypto in 2018, getting involved in local community mining project and expanding those connections. He got involved with Orange Protocol and a few others, working early in Web3 reputation. We also have mini-series, as I mentioned, released every Monday. They're ideated and hosted by core contributors from the Crypto Sapiens team. Many of these are experienced podcasters themselves or AV technicians, but anyone is welcome to deposit and seek out support for their own mini-series from within our community. Two of our most recent series are on Web3 identity, and we have an upcoming series on decentralized journalism, DeJourno. And we're very proud to report that we've just published our first vidcast of our main pod. All future episodes of the main pod and our mini-series will be in full video. And we've previously done our recording on live on Twitter Spaces. Now we'll be recording privately and posting straight to YouTube. I'll have some more links for you to our videos and other things at the end of the presentation. But let me briefly tell you about some of the wonderful Sapiens we've had on to educate us about crypto. First and foremost, of course, we've had 2 Panvala fellows on the show. Niran interviewed with Humpty back in August, and Dr. Kelly Page was in on our panel as part of our as part of Gitcoin's Grants Round Hackathon. We did a special with them, live recorded Twitter space focusing on reputation and security. That special was the Open Data Science live sessions. And our guests shared insights there on what people have been seeing in the ground when it comes to DAO governance, reputation, and building better governance frameworks, and talking proof of personhood and Sybil attack resistance. We had a few more Panvala member communities, such as Philip and Adam of Bright ID and Disruption Joe from Gitcoin, sitting on those panels as well. We've also had several other key contributors from member communities across Panvala League appear previously on the show, such as Punia from Index Co-op, John Pollard from Opolis, and Spencer Graham from DAO House, talking about their respective specialties and some of their trials and tribulations in the space. And many more guests and orgs intrinsic to Panvala over the 46 published podcast episodes we have up on Podbean. We've grown a lot from our origins recording semi-formal talks on a Discord server to being now a fully fledged video podcast production. We have an expansive decentralized team of just over half a dozen core contributors and a score or more of frequent irregulars taking up bounties across 6 work streams. Check out these numbers. Here are some graphs from our Twitter account and some other vital statistics. Over 49 total Twitter spaces. We've had over 500,000 impressions and over 120,000 download views of our podcast across platforms. But of course, we couldn't do it without the support of our collaborator communities. First up is Bankless DAO, who's our main grantor. They support the work that we do in the space, and we support their mission. By bringing crypto curious to crypto native, we help onboard the next billion people to DAOs. This collaboration is an open gateway for training and hiring for both communities. And we have several discrete relations with other projects from the Bankless DAO, such as the AV Guild or DAO. We've closed and delivered on our first 2 sponsor relations, OtterSpace, who is working to definancialize Web3 workplaces, and Gitcoin, of course. Gitcoin, we did that open data science sessions. OtterSpace took a classic sponsorship, and we're looking to find the right sponsors now that will most benefit from and propel us into our new video mode. Saving the best for last, we've got our collaboration with Panvala. We've bought and are in the process of staking over a little over 4,000 Pan. We've officially joined the league last month, and we're here to network with quality communities, find some meaningful sponsorship ops, and from orgs that we can get behind, and any content collaborators that want to come onto the show or host specials. And of course, we are also looking to mint a brainy stamp to share with our communities. So if you or someone you would know would be interested in joining the conversation, message me here. Well, let's connect on Discord. We're looking to help you make the latest and greatest conversations at Web3, DeFi, and DAOs a reality for you and your followers. Reach individuals from the crypto curious to the crypto native through collab with us. All right, and I'll drop some links here in this chat and in the Discord to check out our first vidcast. Go to our website where you can get the audio subscription on whatever platform you like. Follow us on Twitter and learn more about our DAO media team directly on your Discord. On our Discord. All right, let me post those links, and if you have any questions, please go ahead.
I'm curious. I have a few questions. So I think on your last slide, it said that if someone was interested in having like a mini series for their community, that they could do that through Crypto Sapiens. And I'm curious what that would look like. Does someone from Crypto Sapiens facilitate that mini series, or is it you just have a platform that people can use to do that?
Yeah, it would be a direct collaboration. We would help facilitate that mini series. Our most recent mini series, DiGiorno, is a collaboration with Giorno DAO, who's using this to promote the sale of their founder NFT, and just talk about their mission and decentralized journalism, what it means for them and the possibilities in that space. And then our Gitcoin collab is sort of the other side, the other example of that is it's not necessarily a 4-episode mini-series. It's more of just this like panels, 2 focused panels live, goes with our hackathon, and we can do those outside the regular release schedule, depending on whatever the collab demands.
And for someone to start a mini series, for Crypto Sapiens, do they need to be a part of the Crypto Sapiens community? Or I guess I'm just curious how, if it's not a collaboration, how would someone like have their own series through Crypto Sapiens?
Yeah, if it's not a collaboration, if you wanted to sort of more organically create it, you could get involved. You could find a member and get them excited about the idea, get them involved and pushing it on the server. Really, anyone from within the DAO can propose a mini series, and it takes some amount of championing to get the momentum behind it to get it published. So, for example, for DiGiorno, it is a collab, but it was also championed by Eureka John, who's one of our big AV editors.
Any other questions that anyone else has?
If it just comes to you, feel free to go, but thank you guys for listening to the Spotlight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming on. And Crypto Sapiens is one of our newer communities, so we're really happy to have them in Panvala. I'm going to turn it over to Cheo, because Cheo's community Emprende DAO is another new community within Panvala. And I believe he's going to do his presentation in Spanish. So Cheo, take it away. And Cheo, if you're not ready, let me know. We can move on and come back to you too.
Voy a estar escribiendo por el chat para poderme comunicar mejor con ustedes. Voy a presentar aquí y en las láminas hay algo escrito en inglés, pero el resto lo voy a ir colocando en el chat. Thank you por la invitación. Voy a tratar de hablar un poquito en lo que sé. Bueno, nosotros somos una comunidad de Caracas, Venezuela. Esto es parte del sur de la ciudad. Y nosotros somos emprendedores. Tenemos pequeños negocios en nuestra comunidad Y lo que queremos nosotros con Emprendedao es fusionar esos emprendimientos que nosotros tenemos con la web 3. Una manera de que nosotros quisiéramos utilizar, podemos ver ahí que estamos ya utilizando un Twitter, un Discord, un correo, para nosotros estar en comunicación, porque una manera de usar la web 3 es que podemos estar más comunicados entre nosotros, porque más que todo, todos tenemos cosas que hacer en el día a día y no vamos a poder reunirnos siempre. Entonces utilizamos este medio para nuestros encuentros y para estar más informados sobre lo que cada quien, cómo le va yendo en su negocio. Nuestra misión es crear herramientas que contribuyan a estos emprendedores. Y podemos ver que nuestra función es adoptar las criptomonedas y usar como más adopción en la comunidad para que la comunidad sea más activa en el espacio. Nosotros tenemos muchos casos donde las personas no participan en la gobernanza, no participan en los proyectos. Entonces, estamos buscando a través de Emprendedao de mejorar eso para que las personas vayan adoptando el significado de pertenecer a un proyecto y participar, ser partícipe en ese proyecto. La idea también es que integrar una blockchain o un NFTs que nos ayuda a nosotros a integrar más la web 3. ¿En qué sentido participaría la blockchain? De que las transacciones comerciales dentro de nuestros proyectos van a ser a través de Chain. Y a través de NFT podamos dar incentivos a la comunidad para que puedan canjear esos NFTs entre bienes y servicios. Por último, también crear una economía que tenga una fusión entre la web 3 o las criptomonedas y el sistema financiero tradicional. ¿En qué se basa esto? Que nosotros estamos ofreciendo productos y servicios a una comunidad. Y a través de la web 3 podemos integrar eso para darle mayor beneficio, mayor, que podamos llegar a más personas. Ahorita, por ejemplo, estamos trabajando en nuestra DAO. Nuestra DAO estamos trabajando a través de la instantánea y de Hergay, que Hergay es un proyecto que utiliza de gobernanza, igual los puedes utilizar en tu votación. Y entonces es más interactivo ya que tienes un NFT donde lo puedes presumir con otras personas. Ahí pueden ver en, en, en la imagen cómo van a hacerlo, cómo son los.
Thank you, Cheo.
Uy, se me fue el internet.
Tengo una pregunta.
¿Sí?
Gracias para la presentación. Quizás tú dices, pero no comprendo. ¿Qué tipo de emprendedores son participaciones en la proyecto?
Bueno, nosotros ahorita estamos trabajando y tenemos cuatro proyectos. Tenemos un proyecto de una persona que es diseñadora y está creando una escuela de arte y da clases de diseño y es lo que pasa. Ellos están ahorita empezando en eso del diseño. Ahorita están haciendo unas clases y todo eso. Tenemos otro proyecto que se trata de adopción. Adopción en cripto. Se va a crear un canal de YouTube para empezar a enseñar a las personas desde cero sobre las cripto y sobre la Web3. Tenemos otro proyecto que es más de producto, porque este proyecto es productor de productos de higiene del hogar. Y tenemos otro proyecto de intercambio o como le pueden decir, un exchange de intercambio de blockchain. Por ejemplo, este proyecto estaría apoyándonos en intercambio de traspasar dinero del fiat a la cripto. Por ahí vienen otros proyectos también de una distribuidora de agua, que aquí es muy complicado el agua. Entonces, esos son los que estamos ahí trabajándolos en nuestra comunidad.
Muy bien. Yo, how do I say this? La variedad, like the variety, es muy impresivo. Que tú puedes conectar los diferentes proyectos y dámelos una manera para recibir. Es muy bien. Gracias. Lo siento para my horrible Spanish.
La conexión de los proyectos. Bueno, la idea de esto no solamente que se crea un proyecto y de un emprendedor y listo, sino la idea es después de que el proyecto tenga un avance, pueda distribuir, entonces todos podamos ser dueños de ese proyecto como comunidad a través, lo hemos pensado a través de OTC o entrega de acciones de los proyectos para la comunidad. Otra manera de integrar en la Web3 es que en un momento usaremos una wallet como de administración de cada proyecto para comercializar entre proyectos. El intercambio de tokens, intercambio de acciones entre proyectos.
Any other questions or comments? You can leave them in the chat as well if that's easier for you. Okay, thank you so much for presenting. We're going to talk about some Panvala things at the moment, but if there are other questions that are lingering, please feel free to use the chat as well. All right. So just some Panvala updates. Like I said, we have Crypto Sapiens and Emprende DAO are two new communities that just presented. We have another new community, the Click Podcast, and we're hoping to invite them to our town hall next month to talk about their community. Naran, would you like to talk about token distribution? I feel like you're the best person to do that.
Sure thing. So for those who aren't aware, for those who need a refresher, Panvala runs on a 13-week cycle for the smart contracts that live on chain that distribute the tokens from the system. So the latest 13-week cycle ended last Friday, October 28th. So that's when the latest release of tokens is available. So now it's time to distribute those tokens. We distribute those tokens based on the stamps that each community has collected and the amount of PAN that each community has staked. So for the stamps that were collected over the past 3 months, that's what's going to decide the share of that $35,000 of PAN that each community gets, and that's how it'll be distributed. The spreadsheet with all that data is going to be available this week for people to review, and then we aim to distribute those tokens by Friday. So then the next cycle will go from now until the end of January, and then we'll repeat it again. So it's what determines what each community gets is staking and stamps. The staking model is mainly the older version of how we distribute things in Panvala, just based on what the amount of PAN that communities hold. As we transition to stamp collecting as the main way that communities earn funds, because that's the main way that funds go into the system. Sponsors mint stamps and put funds into the system. Communities collect stamps by doing business with the sponsors and get the value out of the system. That's the general model for Panvala. So the way that staking works, we have a proposal to adjust it going forward. That's going to be available within the next couple of weeks to make it tie into the way that stamps work. If stamps are the center of what we do, which it is, basically having staking be a bonus on top of the stamps that you collect. So for communities that have been a part of the network and haven't started collecting stamps yet, there are some communities, I think less than half the communities that haven't collected any stamps yet. We're going to reach out to them and let them know that basically with the proposal that's going out, that really the only way to earn from Panvala is to collect stamps, and that the staking then provides bonus stamps on top of what you've collected. But if you haven't collected any stamps, the collecting stamps is really the core of what this is. That's how we shift value in our economy. It's really by making sure that anytime a business wants to market to get customers in the door, that they can give it to your community. That's what Panvala is at the end of the day. So tying staking in with that is really core to what's going on here. So I think that's it on the staking and the token release. I can go into the next side of the slide if you want me to, but it's whichever way you want to do.
It's up to you, Naran. I'm happy to talk about it too. Or if Margaret wants to talk about it. Okay. Let me go back to the slide. So what Panvala is up to. So we are actively looking for funding, and that funding is to help us do what we're doing better and to continue to expand what we do and what we can offer and how we do it. So we're in the process of creating, our pitch deck or our pitch to potential investors so that we can grow and help more communities. We're also at the same time looking for more stamp campaigns. We have 2 on the horizon right now that we're hoping that'll launch before the end of the year. But if you know of anyone that's interested in sponsoring a stamp, or I know Crypto Sapiens is playing with the idea of launching their own stamp. Yeah, we're always happy to have a discussion about it and what that could look like. We're still playing with different models for sponsors of what we believe works the best for both sides. So we're always happy to have that conversation. And really, we're also, kind of redefining what our culture of stamps, what a collecting culture looks like, and how that can be incorporated outside of Web3 as well. So we're kind of playing with all those ideas, and also reimagining what it looks like to be a member. We've been playing with this idea of chapters, and I don't think we're quite ready to propose anything to our network, but these are just some of the things that we would like to get done or work more towards by the end of the year. Currently with stamps, we do have 4 campaigns. The newest one is the Generous AF campaign, and they have 2 different stamps. You can go on our website, panvala.com/stamps, to find out more about how to collect those. But there is a stamp that's worth $1. There's a stamp worth $10, and the way to collect those stamps is by posting things on social media, reposting them. And then the leaderboard you see, those are the communities that are going to be earning the most or getting the most funds from us. And those 3 in the middle, most of their funds come from stamp collecting. So it is really helpful to be a part of this program. If you do have a podcast, a Twitter space, if your community has a normally scheduled community call, we would love to be invited, or we will ask you if we can come and speak about what we do at Panvala and the difference our program can make. Dandelion Collective, we are going to be speaking with one of their communities because they have many different communities a part of their program. But we'll be speaking with their community in a few weeks about that. So if you would like to join us, there is the invite where you can sign up through their platform. If you would like to have us come and talk with your community, you can always let us know in Discord or reach out to any of us individually, and we can set up that call. And then I guess lastly, Niran, is there anything else that you would like to talk about with stamps, or anything I didn't mention that you would like to discuss?
I think we covered it all, but just to reiterate, why we're here, why we're doing what we're doing is literally because every marketing dollar spent in our economy is spent to change your behavior. But those dollars don't go to you, aren't controlled by you. That is what we're organizing to change. Anytime you see some ad being spent for some sports stadium with the brand on it, ads on your TV, Those are dollars spent that you should be able to control. That's what we're organizing to do. That's what happens every time you collect a stamp. The more stamps we collect, the more businesses have a reason to actually spend money on communities to get customers in the door. The stronger that stamp collecting culture, the stronger each community is at collecting these stamps, the more it actually drives business value for the people minting the stamps to spend their money in this way. Because again, our movement is not to put pressure on businesses to give some of their profits to communities. Our movement is to shift money away that they're already spending to middlemen and shift money away from the middlemen like Facebook and Google and have that go into your own community. Every time we expand, every time we say, okay, now here's a new kind of sponsor, that's a new category of marketing dollars that can be shifted. And every time we expand to a new kind of community, that's a new audience that businesses can get by offering stamps. That's how this movement grows. Growing to add more communities, growing to add more sponsors, and helping them all collect stamps and mint stamps together. That's what helps us put this pressure on our economy to shift how value flows. That's what this movement is. That's why we're so happy that you're a part of it. That's why we highlight communities across the network and what activity is going on in them, because we believe that community life can and should be the center of our society if we can make value flow in the way that it should. There shouldn't be these middlemen who are making money off of changing your behavior. Instead, there should be businesses that are trying to give as much to you and your community as possible to get you in the door. That's the world that we're building, and we're happy that you're building it with us.
Thanks, Niran. Any questions about anything we discussed today?
Hi everyone, this is David. Yeah, just a quick question. I want to know when we'll have discussions around the chapters and to know what's in play in the plan. Yeah. Thank you.
So the rough timeline for the discussion about chapters, I expect that will probably happen like a month from now, because the first proposal that's going to go out to the member communities is the proposal for bonus stamps for staking. So that's really the discussion that's going to start early next week to discuss how we adjust the staking model from just being able to passively earn resources from Panvala by staking to have to actively earn resources from Panvala by collecting stamps and then potentially earning a bonus percentage of stamps based on how much you're staking. So that's the proposal that we're gonna work through as a network first, and then the proposal for chapters would come later. To get a rough idea of what we have in mind when we talk about chapters, it's basically because this movement is for all kinds of communities, being able to have a way that we think about different kinds of communities and how we organize them is crucial to expanding beyond Web3. So we have most communities in Panvala right now are Web3 communities, and that's great. That's where this movement begins. And the way that we expand is by creating more chapters that look like the Panvala that we already have. Creating chapters in the cities that you and I live in, bringing on communities in the cities that you and I live in, bringing on sponsors that they can collect stamps from in the cities that they live in, and helping get that network effect going in each city. That's one kind of chapter, a local chapter, making sure that in the cities that we're focusing on, that communities can get onboarded and don't necessarily, they might not come to a call with Web3 communities. Maybe their town hall is for communities in their own city where they resonate more with the communities that are there. That's kind of what a local chapter would look like. You also might think of a topic chapter that looks more like Web3, where it is a global interest happening where people come together based on the shared interest in Web3 and in crypto, but maybe for an interest that isn't Web3. There's a lot of online communities that are trying to make an impact on climate change. Lots of online communities that are trying to build a more inclusive society. A lot of online communities about various interests, making sure that when they bring their communities on board, that they have a version of Panvala that suits them. That's basically that sub-network of Panvala based on their shared interest, that's another kind of chapter that we could be able to include in this movement. And lastly, there's lots of existing networks of communities, things that are kind of like Panvala, where the members aren't individuals, but the members are communities. We don't want to replace those networks. We want to have them have an opportunity to literally just be Panvala. So you can think of these existing community networks as network chapters of Panvala. Those kinds of things are maybe platforms where people are collecting money for their community. If there's already a platform where they're coming together, already that shared process that they use, rather than having this separate thing where it's like, oh, come learn about Panvala here and do this Panvala thing here. No, just do Panvala with the network that you're already part of on that platform that you already use. Or maybe there's already a kind of like a community network with a chapter structure already, like where like maybe there's a certain type of club where there's a whole bunch of different local versions of the club, but they're all the same kind of thing. Again, rather than having to be part of Panvala as a separate thing, embedding that network into Panvala as it already is, and having them be able to integrate stamp collecting and our distributions as part of what they do within their own network is what a network chapter would look like. So again, like to be a movement that serves all kinds of communities, we have to be able to bring on communities in the cities that we live in, bringing that Web3 energy with us, but to the kinds of communities that people are coming to in person. That's part of what chapters are. Bringing together global online communities into chapters, that's another kind of chapter. And again, bringing existing networks of communities and not trying to move their communities to Panvala, but moving Panvala to them within the networks they're already part of. That's another kind of chapter. And again, there's more details that would be in the proposal as it comes along, and more opportunities for discussion and input. But again, the way this movement grows is by bringing on more kinds of communities in the places where community thrives. And community thrives in person. The communities that matter the most to me, and that I assume matter the most to you, are the ones that are actually the ones that you go to and you meet people face to face in person. Like that's where community life thrives. And that's what this movement is about. So to visualize how this movement branches out from Web3, where we're growing and thriving today, into the real world, that's what these chapters are all about.
And I wanted to say that we are talking about, so this is a potential, that we might do some kind of test at ETH Denver regarding stamps and creating some kind of localized chapter there. So we are still figuring out what this is going to look like. So yes, but we are excited about moving past Web3.
Also, if what I just said resonated with you, and if you instantly came up with communities that you would love to be able to collect stamps, sponsors that you would love to be able to mint stamps locally in the city that you live in, if that sounds like something that you're interested in, we want to hear from you. Speak up in Discord, ping us, and we'll keep you in the loop so you can be part of how this movement grows.
Any other questions or comments before we say goodbye? We have a few minutes left. Okay, well, thank you everyone for coming to our town hall. We hope to see you next month. We'll probably be posting this on YouTube. If you want to watch it again or send it out to anyone who you think might be interested in watching it. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. Thank you, Neon. Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks for coming. Have a
Thank
good one, everybody.
you. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.